Hey everybody, it's Roy, and welcome back to my channel. I love a good story time just as much as anybody else, and this is by far the greatest story I have ever been a part of. I moved to LA 3 years ago for school, and I remember my mom and I were talking one day before I moved out here, and she was like, you know, all the shows ever are filmed in LA, and if you can, you should totally try to go to one. And I thought, oh yeah, that'd be super fun, I'll see if I can do that. But once I got out here though, I completely forgot about that. I got super busy with school super quickly, and it just totally slipped my mind. Until it's the end of class one day, my friend Victoria is leaving her seat and she's walking by me, and I was like, oh girl, do you want to go grab dinner and just hang out and whatever? And she was like, actually no, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm going to a taping of Jimmy Kimmel. And immediately I just thought, oh my god, why am I not going to Jimmy Kimmel? So I went straight to my dorm room and I googled how to get tickets to shows in LA. And I came across this website. It was one of the first search results that came up. It had a list of all of the shows that film in LA. I think I applied to maybe 10 or 15 shows, and one of them was the game show Let's Make a Deal. I got tickets to this show, so the night before the taping of the episode that I'm supposed to go to, I sit down with my friend because I got 2 tickets, right? Neither of us had ever seen an episode of Let's Make a Deal before, so I was like, girl, we should probably watch an episode just to know what we're getting ourselves into. We pulled up YouTube and watched an episode. So because I had never seen an episode before, I didn't know that everybody wore costumes to this show. She and I are sitting here looking at each other like, oh my god, we are going tomorrow and we have no costumes to wear. And we noticed that some people wore matching costumes, friends who went together, couples, whatever. And sometimes both of them got picked to play games together. We were like, oh my god, we should totally have matching costumes. The next day we go to a Goodwill. We had no idea what we were gonna buy going into it. We just started looking around for anything that gave us inspiration. And then I found these bumblebee big fluffy slippers, house shoes that kids would wear. And I just thought, girl, we gonna be bees. We both find these plain, solid yellow t-shirts and black pants. I mean, there was only one pair of slippers, so I saw them first, I had to wear them. But we did find 2 sets of insect antenna headband things. We buy all of our clothes for maybe $5, and this is all the morning of. We were at Goodwill probably 3 hours before we had to be at the taping. We go back to my room, and I had this black electrical tape that I put across the shirt as stripes. This was certainly the jankiest costume I have ever worn, but we didn't have any other options, so we were rolling with it. We go to the studio that was maybe in Burbank somewhere. This is how everything works at a game show. You show up, you go inside, everybody lines up, all in their costumes, and as soon as I saw everybody's costumes, I was like, oh my god, I'm never getting picked, mine is so crappy compared to them. But you wait in line to sign in and get your name tag. Those name tags that everybody wears on The Price is Right, on Let's Make a Deal. And I saw everybody going in groups of 10 or so and talking to this one man. I didn't really know exactly what they were doing, but somebody told me that they were group interviews for who was gonna be casted as game show contestants. So I start watching these group interviews, and I'm like, okay, Roy, if you want to be on this show, you need to be strategic about it. I noticed that the casting director was making note when he liked certain people, the people who were really outgoing and fun and energetic and expressive. Finally, the group that I'm in gets to the front of the line, and we're the next to be interviewed by this man. Now, on top of the mental notes that I've already made, I can hear the notes that he's giving everybody else, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna take this, you're gonna go in, and you gonna kill it. That interview ends, my group is shuffled in, he's in the middle, he starts going down the line. Who are you, what's your name, where are you from? I just try to sell myself as much as I can. I'm Roy, I'm from Elkmont, Alabama. I just moved here to LA a month ago for school. I'm a college student, trying to be super expressive and energetic. I think it starts working. He's looking at me and he's writing things down, and he definitely spent longer talking to me than he did most other people. Before I know it, the interview is over. Our group leaves and we head into the studio. All I can do at this point is pray that I was expressive enough, pray that he liked enough, that I was good looking enough, whatever. Oh, and here's the thing. The casting director doesn't tell anybody who he's gonna choose. It's not a surprise to the host, but it is still a surprise to the contestants. The show finally starts. They're going through games. He chooses this girl over here and this man way up there. And I just thought, okay, like, if it hasn't happened at this point, it's really not going to. That's okay, you know, I'm not really that bummed. I've never even seen this show before. I can't really complain about it. But then it happens. It's the start of a new game and he's like, okay, who am I gonna get to play this new game? And everybody's like screaming and hooting and hollering. I was seated in like the first or second row, like really easily accessible. The host is walking around, who is Wayne Brady from Friends, I think. He walks right out to me and he's like, you. He's like, Roy, come play. And I'm like, oh my God, stop. Like, I'm on the show. It doesn't even matter if I win, I am on this freaking show. I go up, I'm on stage, I'm standing beside Wayne. He's like, okay, Roy, for this game, you need somebody to play with. Do you see anybody in the audience that you want to play with? And I was like, heck yeah, I just came here with my friend. I'm literally blanking on her name right now because we are no longer friends. Our friendship actually ended maybe a month after this whole thing happened, and this day might have had something to do with it. We'll get to it. I had come there with my friend, so I said, heck yeah, I want to play with my friend Sarah. Let's call her Sarah. Her name was not Sarah though. So I run over to Sarah, I grab her hand, I bring her up to the stage with me, and then Wayne has like this really like confused, kind of like pensive look on his face all of a sudden. And I was like, oh no, like what have I done wrong? And he makes my friend sit back down. He's like, actually, no, we don't want her. Do you see anybody else that you want to play with? Maybe somebody over in that direction? First of all, this is the most awkward thing ever. He literally made my friend sit back down in her seat after she got up. She was cheering with me. She was so freaking excited to play with me. She looked utterly defeated. I almost thought she was going to cry, and I felt terrible. It was super awkward, don't get me wrong, but I was not about to let that ruin my day. I'm still here, I'm still playing this game, about to win some money. So I look over in that direction and I'm like looking for somebody like, who is he talking about? Who does he want me to play with? I don't understand. All of a sudden, this woman with big hair jumps up out of the front row and she comes running towards me. Now, I don't have great vision as it is. I wear contacts, so I'm like sitting there like trying to figure out who is this woman who's like running towards me? And then I recognized her. She is Cheryl Underwood. She is one of the co-hosts of The Talk on CBS. She runs up to me, she gives me a big hug, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Cheryl Underwood. Wayne's like, okay, for this game, Cheryl, you're gonna help Roy win some money. And I'm like, oh yeah, heck yeah. So this was the premise of the game. I was blindfolded and Wayne had like this stack of cards with different things written on them. I had to put on my blindfold. He was showing the cards to Cheryl and Cheryl was making the noise of whatever was on the card into the microphone. I had to guess the noise that she was making, and if I got it right, I think I got like $100 or so. And honestly, I don't even remember like what the things were that I had to guess, but the first few were like super easy. It was either like dog or cat, and she would go woof woof or meow, and I'd be like, oh, dog, and then he'd be like, yeah, and gave me $100. At the end of the game, I'm sitting there with maybe like $500-600 in my hand. He takes the blindfold off of me and he's like, okay, Roy, now you have to make a decision. You can either keep your $500 or you can trade it for this envelope. And he pulls like this envelope out of his pocket. In my head, this is not even a decision. I'm like, $500, is it a lot of money? Heck yeah. But this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity. I'm not walking away with $500. I'm taking that envelope. But for TV, I put on a show. I was sitting there like, ooh, I don't know. Like, this is so hard. Which one am I gonna choose? And I was like, okay, I want the envelope. And everybody's like, oh my God, he chose the envelope. And like half the people were like pissed at me. And then half of the people were super excited for me. And then he's like, Roy, you just gave up $500 for, opens the envelope, And you guys, this pause was so long. If you go back, I have this clip. It's on my Instagram. I will link it below. You can go watch it and see exactly what I'm talking about. But the pause that he took between saying what I want and actually telling me was so long. You know, in the first like 5 seconds, I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. I just want something big. And then he waits even longer. The pause is like drawn out. He starts having this worried look on his face, and I was like, oh, I literally have blown it. All of these people who told me to take the money, they were so right. Now I'm gonna walk out of here broke. And then he finally says, recap, you just passed up $500 for a trip to France. Y'all, I freaked out. I'm grabbing Cheryl, I'm grabbing Wayne. We are hugging and dancing and spinning in a full circle on the stage. All I heard was trip to France. I didn't even need details. My bags are basically packed at this point, but everything calms down. I finally go back to my seat, and my friend is pissed. Not only did she not get to play the game with me, but she just like had to sit there and watch me win this, what turned out to be an 8-day, 7-night ski trip to France. But there was nothing I could do. Sorry, girl. The episode finally wraps up, and they take all of the contestants who have played throughout the episode, and they make you sign like this non-disclosure agreement saying that you won't tell anybody that you were on the show, or you won't tell anybody what you won until it aired. But you guys, it is literally so freaking hard to keep a secret like that. I actually didn't tell any of my friends, but I did tell my parents. I was trying to keep it a secret from them, but I talked to my mom on the phone later that night because she knew that I was going to the game, and she was like, oh, how was it? Did you enjoy the game? Did you have fun? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, girl, I won! And she was like, what does that mean, you silly boy? I won a trip to France, and I'm taking you with me. And at first, I honestly don't even think she believed me. I think she thought I was just pulling a prank on her. But anyway, so the episode actually didn't even air until maybe like a little over a month later, and this was October 2016. And just as like some more details about the trip that I won, 8-day, 7-night ski trip to this little French town called Maribel, but it came with round trip airfare for two, transportation from the airport to your private chalet for the week. The chalet, by the way, was amazing. It was on this hill. It was like this super cute little French log cabin thing. Really nice, actually. And since it was a ski trip, it came with 7 or 8 day ski rentals. Rentals for every day that you were there. You guys, this trip included everything except ski lessons. I scheduled the trip for the following March, during spring break, actually. Oh, that was so much fun that month when everybody was like, oh, what are you doing for spring break? I was like, wow, I'm going skiing in France. I literally thought I was the coolest thing. I had made it. But anyway, March rolls around and I go on this trip with my mom. We get to the town. It's our first day out on the slopes. Neither of us had ever had lessons. We take the ski lift to the top of the mountain and we see all these signs for like the different slopes, right? But we had no idea what like any of them meant. And then I see this sign for Black Diamond is what it's called. And I thought, ooh, I like Black Diamonds. Let's do Black Diamond. In case you've never skied before, Black Diamond is notoriously the steepest, hardest slope. It's for experts only, okay? And we kind of realized that maybe 10 seconds into it, we start going down the slope and it is literally like, I don't know how many degrees this is, but it's like at an angle like this. We have no idea how to brake on these things. We don't know what the heck we're doing. I might have skied for like 3 seconds until I completely like wipe out. I'm like rolling down the hill. One ski is like stuck in the snow back there. One ski is still on me and it's like getting tangled up in the snow. I finally stopped rolling and I look back. And now my mom is rolling down the hill and she has like this big, poofy, super curly, like blonde hair. And all I see is like her hair like going everywhere. It is hilarious and I cannot stop laughing. But we both get up and we try it one more time. The same thing happens. And I realized like we are not gonna be able to ski down this slope. Never having taken lessons before, absolutely knowing nothing, we have to walk down. walking down this mountain was the most tiring, exhausting thing I've ever done. It literally took us, like, no joke, like 2.5 hours to get to the bottom of this slope. Every step we take, we are like knee deep in the snow and we're carrying our skis, but we finally make it to the bottom of the slope. Obviously that was a major fail, but like I just won this ski trip and I kind of want to ski. We like take this bus to a training slope and we think it's gonna be like a lot easier, a lot better, but seriously, like you need to take lessons if you are going to ski, if you've never done it before. So we get ourselves into another predicament. My mom and I go back to the chalet that night, debriefing, we're talking about everything. We realize that we don't really enjoy skiing necessarily that much, especially not knowing what we're doing. And we came up with this plan to just like travel around France, travel around the neighboring countries for the rest of the week that we're there. We went to the south, like Marseille, and some other like little cities, Geneva, Switzerland, Turin, Italy, and just like made like little day trips. It ended up being a super fun, just like super relaxing week. Really enjoyed the trip overall, except that first day, of course. So at the end of the day, I got this trip for free. Like I literally did not pay a dime for it. But yeah, that's the story of when I was on a game show. You can go to my Instagram and see all the pictures that I took from that week. Thank you very much for watching this video. I really want to start making these more regularly. I'm not exactly sure which direction I want my channel to go in yet, but I guess you guys will figure it out along with me. If you have any questions about the trip or about being on a game show or auditioning for game shows or anything associated with this story, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.